Hello everyone, as usual it's me Pavlo, and some long time ago I did a review of NF Audio NM2 Plus. Interesting single dynamic driver earphones that surprised me with pretty great technical performance for that price. Few years passed since then, and NF Audio decided to rebrand a little bit, so they called now NF Acous, and they've lost tick at the end, but they continue that lineup. They have a lot of different interesting earphones in their model range, but they decided to continue that lineup that they position as professional stage monitoring, and today we'll be talking about NM20, spiritual successor of that model. I'm not a professional musician or sound engineer, so I don't know about usage for monitoring, but I will evaluate them from perspective of regular music listener and enjoyer. Their price is $120. They use a dynamic driver with beryllium plating. They made of polycarbonate. They have special internal acoustic structure, so pretty interesting model. Let's have a closer look. Package is pretty nice. Company spent a lot of effort in the presentation when they were NF Audio, and when they became NF Acous, they decided not to change that. Good polygraphy, pretty nice size of the box. They printed main features on the back side, so everything that could be interesting is here. So we go inside, and here we're getting internal main box, which is open this way, and here is the signature feature, disc-like holder, and you can see like lot of effort put into every aspect. So nice case. I want to pull it out carefully, and here we just put the finger inside and pulling out earpieces. Here they are, so let's get at least one out. Set of 4 pair of tips of different sizes, stock cable. Are we getting something in the case or not? Interesting. Pretty heavy box. Oh, sorry, not box, bag, of course. Let's unwind it. And actually it's 6.3 millimeter adapter. A nicely built one. So let's take a look at the design of earpieces. Here they are. Really good combination of semi-transparent plastic, and you can see they selected a matte one. Nice. You can see inside the driver, socket, and that's probably all. Not much inside, but you can see the details. And nice faceplate, so basically nothing super fancy, but really strict, well-looking design, classical shape, fitting nicely into ears. Everything is smooth and rounded, and looks pretty well built. There is a lip for holding the tips and protective grill, of course. Angle is really proper, length of spout is average, and it means it provides about average passive sound isolation, which is also kind of nice. And stock cable is replaceable. Here used QDC connectors. I still think that it's one of the best options in the affordable segment, because they provide nice durability and at the same time they are easy to replace. So here they are. Nice flush fitting connectors, so looks good. Stock cable is also well made. There is a ear hook, And cable itself is on the softer side of things, really soft, silky smooth, nice looking, really comfortable in wearing, almost zero microphonic effect, chin slider, splitter, and after splitter it goes braided down to the 3.5mm connector. So as you can see, all exterior things are made on a really good level. Of course, the most interesting part is the sound, and this time it's twice more interesting because these earphones fulfill the promise and deliver a slightly unusual sound signature. I can't say that it's like absolutely nothing like something other, but it's a noticeable deviation from the typical Harmonish-like earphones in this price segment. If we look at frequency response graph, it's just a standard V-shaped signature. But in practice, it's more interesting because this driver has a slight focus on the technicality, on the micro contrast, and delivers pretty energetic sound with good clarity and with healthy amount of details. Probably it's exactly what one need for monitoring, but I'm not a professional musician, I'm not a sound engineer, so I can't say anything here, unfortunately. But I evaluate them from perspective of music listening, and I understand that not everyone will like such signature, but I like it really much because it's making slight focus on the technical side of things, but at the same time they doesn't sound too thin, too analytical. So let's discuss this step by step. My usual reminder: if you decide to get these earphones, you'll need to spend the time finding the tips that will provide you the best seal and isolation. So, bass goes pretty deep. It has a nice speed, really good in representing textures and small nuances, but at the same time it's slightly on the faster side of things, so it doesn't add any weight. So that makes these earphones a bit dependent on the quality of material. When track is recorded properly, you'll get a normal amount of weight. But when there are some but when track has some issues with weight distribution, of course it will be lacking. Also, if you use too typical slightly warmer bass, it's also not your option. Here bass is on the drier side of things, not too dry, so not something like planars tuned for the micro contrast or balanced armatures. It's still a dynamic driver, it still pumps nice amount of air, it has good impact and punch, just slightly less weight than usually. And I wanted to test something that benefit of low frequencies, and it's Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. I like this track, I like this compilation, I like bass line here. Of course, it's one of the most signature bass lines, and also drum part here is also requires nice bass performance, and I like how saturated low frequencies here is. They don't lack weight to my ears, and at the same time they provide nice good definition, and also bass stays on its place and not shadowing mid frequencies. And the mids are also pretty nice, also if you like nuances and details. It's not as dry as some natural balanced armatures, you're still getting good coherence, you're still getting great emotions, and you're getting great macro dynamics if it's present in the record. And at the same time you're getting slight focus on the technical side of things. All instruments are a bit highlighted, but at the same time they sound coherent, but also when record is good. So I will highlight this probably a few times more, but it requires well recorded materials. Or you can get something not perfectly recorded, but be prepared that you'll hear that it's not perfectly recorded. So not an issue of earphones probably. They built really good imaginary stage, noticeably above average, not super huge, but pretty spacious with good depth layering and separation. At the same time, it's better to get for these earphones best mastering. But if we're speaking about earphones created for monitoring, mastering, and stage work, probably it's something to expect. So, as an example, I've got this track. It's Northern Kings, great heavy metal vocalists singing together, covering Brothers in Arms with orchestral accompaniment. And these earphones deliver everything with great sense of epicness, with all nuances of every voice, with that sense of size of the orchestra. So pretty impressive representation. I like it. Also, you can hear a bit of mastering issues in this track, but it's something that we have to live with because it was the way it was created. And the treble. Actually, extension is just slightly above average, but treble has a bit of additional energy. Not too much, but if you're sensitive to the treble area, so I did warn you. So it's better to try them before buying or just to avoid them. But if you like treble, these earphones will deliver nice amount of overtones, both basic and more extended, and also they have proper attacks and decays. Of course, layering is super basic here, but it's something to expect for this tire. And thanks to this good overtone saturation, they sound spacious, they sound detailed, and they are really good when you want to listen to some so-called audiophilic tracks. And actually, here is the example. It's Macy Gray cover of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. And in the introduction, you'll hear that brushes that hit, I don't know, hi-hats, some cymbals, and instruments with overtones going to the treble area, vocal overtones, and all that sounds really nice, really airy, with good sense of space. In terms of pairings, they actually require something good and probably not super natural or bright. I'd rather choose for them some balanced player, not too warm or colored, and at the same time not too natural or bright. I don't know, maybe Fior, for example, or some Hybrid models that are not tuned for the micro contrast. So really good earphones with a lot of scalability with good source. Speaking about the comparisons, I don't know what we've got in this segment. Almost all SimGOT models I've tested, they are slightly more safer tuned with less energy in the treble, with slightly less focus on the small nuances, and a bit more weight. And I don't know, few FD3, and they actually more fun, more weighty, more weight on the mids, less small nuances and details, and focus on that. And compared to the NM2 Plus that I've tested some time ago, actually this model is a clear continuation of NM2 Plus ideas, delivering also similar signature with focus on the small nuances, but doing it in a bit more organic way. So to summarize everything, I can't say that it's like model that definitely will fit everyone's taste. But if you're looking for some earphones with monitoring but not too dry representation, or if you need something for monitoring purposes, probably that's a really great option to consider. But I also enjoy listening music with them because I am a fan of such signature. Clean, crisp, precise. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course, have a great day.